Hey everyone, I hope you're well. I want to talk to you today about OCD being a superpower and we just need to obsess over the things that benefit us. So we have this innate skill to repetitively do stuff over and over again, right? Whether it's trying to figure out an answer to a question or perfecting a routine so it's just right. I realize I am using kind of cliche examples, but just bear with me. So we have this repetitive perfection in us. We have this laser point focus. It's just on the wrong things. It's just misguided, right? So we need to start by asking ourselves, I have this laser focus. That's great. A lot of people don't have that. Where can I put it? So I'm just taking back my power and putting it towards something useful. It could be a continuing education class. It could be excelling at a certain area of knowledge within your job, right? So you have that power. I know it's initially hard when it's pulling you in that direction, but you just gotta what you focus on grows. What you attend to is what you get. So it's learning to break that and put it towards something of value. Kind of like along the lines of stimming. Like I use the word stimming. Doesn't necessarily mean autism, not in my case at least. But sometimes people with OCD stim, right? So it's finding the healthy stims and the unhealthy stims. So yelling my cat's name over and over again, generally neutral, right? As long as there's no one around that's annoyed by that. It's a cheap dopamine hit. Negative stims could be doom scrolling on Instagram for hours, checking between three apps to see if you have any notifications. That could be kind of a negative stim because it's brain rot, right? You're not getting any stimulation from that. So then you ask yourself, what is my unmet need? Why am I doing this? For me, I found out it was boredom. So these are cheap dopamine hits, right? But I slowly rot away. So if I move it over to a continuing education class in my profession, right? Right now I'm learning about executive functioning, which I think is very interesting. I'm taking all my attention, my mental stimulation. I found out boredom is the incentive for OCD. Mind wandering actually causes suffering. So the more idle we are, I'm speaking from my experience, you can let me know how you are. The more idle, the more chance your OCD has to latch onto you and drive you insane. So, I needed to redirect to something of interest, something that can stimulate my mind. So instead of opening up these three apps, checking for likes, whatever, I'm like, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to put it towards my growth and my intention, my career, and learning about everything about attention and executive functioning and all that good stuff. So, and then I found that my scrolling went away, right? So you met that need of intellectual stimulation. You got to find out the reasons behind your behaviors. So maybe you're just bored and trying to fill your life with exciting or mentally stimulating activities, whether it's puzzles, drawing, coloring. I like to do diamond art. Pair it with a podcast that, I'm really into psychology, so I listen to psychology. But you see how one is very closed off and based in fear, where the other is very curious. And they're both meeting the same attention, right? You just need something to focus on. So maybe your OCD just doesn't like boredom. So it pulls you into these questions that you can't answer because there is no answer. It's just BS, right? So find out what you're doing before you start obsessing. Maybe boredom is the root cause. I know for me, when I'm idle, again, that's when the OCD likes to make me miserable. So I kind of was talking about a couple different things there. How boredom can kind of, mind wandering is the source of suffering a lot of the times. How we can make our OCD work in our favor by stimming on something that's enjoyable, right? If we had that innateness in our makeup anyway, use it to your advantage. What can you get really obsessive about that's going to help you? And yeah, so for me, it's learning, it's staying engaged, finding out the whys behind your behavior. And this doesn't apply to the content of your thoughts because they're meaningless. They just spur on fear. It's finding out the whys behind your behaviors because our brain is just trying to help us. At the end of the day, we're just trying to find comfort, and we do it in any way that we know. But there's a difference between living on autopilot and living from a life of choice. So start to observe yourself as a disengaged, like someone outside looking at you and your behaviors as a scientist. All right, you're binge eating right now. What are you trying to accomplish with that? You know, again, it comes down to mental stimulation. I really believe, Muffin believes it too. I think OCD may have root in boredom as one of many possibilities. It's not the only possibility. But learning to take the energy that OCD has stolen and put it into something you want, I think is key. So drop your thoughts down. Let me know what you think of this, and I will talk to you later.